An 11th FBS Conference is starting to form. Breaking news this morning from ESPN Pete Thamel. And does that entice North Dakota State to finally make the jump from FCS football, which they have dominated like nobody else, to finally make the jump to FBS? We think there's some steam. We think there's some indication that they're about to do so. Welcome to episode 113 of College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Pflugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do as well, please subscribe to our ever-growing channel. Share the video with your family and friends and smash that like button if you like our content. Thank you so very much. Let's not waste any more time. Let's just jump to the breaking story that Pete Thamel broke this morning, ESPN. We're not going to go through this whole article. I will put the link in the description box below the video, but Pete Thamel breaks the news. Atlantic Sun WAC teams pairing up to attempt move to FBS, sources say. The remaining football members of the Atlantic Sun and WAC have agreed to align to form the foundation of a 10-member football-only conference, sources told ESPN, with the intention of becoming the 11th FBS Conference. Sources said the founding documents for the league state the group intends to move from what is currently known as an FCS football to what is currently known as FBS football at the earliest practicable date. The schools that have aligned to join the league are WAC football members Stephen F. Austin, Abilene Christian, Utah Tech, Southern Utah, and Tarleton State, and the Atlantic Sun football members Austin P., Eastern Kentucky, Central Texas, and North Alabama. UT Rio Grande Valley, which recently announced it's starting a program, is also expected to join in 2025 in that program's first season as the league's 10th member. The goal for the conference is to start playing in 2024 with 9 members. Okay? Now, again, you can read the article in full, and I'll provide the link in the description box below the video. But there are 2 big paragraphs I want to go over here in this episode 113. The reasoning for the new league is, according to sources, greater certainty in scheduling and recruiting and a clear pathway to the highest levels of college football. The clear pathway to the highest levels of college football, you know what that means? They want that new 12-team expanded college football revenue, that huge money that's coming in. It's going to be over $2 billion a year. 80% of that's going to be set for the Power 5 schools. 20% of that's going to be set for the G5 FBS schools. It's going to be a whole lot of money. And with that, there really has been no new barriers or walls set for an FCS school to jump over to get to an FBS conference or to form their own conference like these schools are doing, these 9 schools plus UT Grand Valley. It's a huge story. They want a piece of that pie, and it doesn't look like there's anything that's going to stop them from getting it. Now, I'm going to jump to one more paragraph. The agreement in the article. The agreement includes the goal to immediately explore expansion opportunities, sources said. League officials have begun early conversations with at least 4 other high-profile FCS football programs, sources said. With at least 4 other high-profile FCS football programs. I wonder who those could be. North Dakota St Bison. There is no other higher profile program in FCS than North Dakota State. Now, it doesn't say North Dakota State in this article. And maybe North Dakota State hasn't had conversations with these schools. I highly doubt that's the case. I bet they have. I bet South Dakota State Jackrabbits have as well. But when I read this article, it gave me flashes back to an article that was written by Mike McFeely, North Dakota, October 21st, 2022. Just a little while ago. Let's go back. Let's go into that article. Fargo. Again, this is Mike McFeely. North Dakota State Athletic Director Matt Larson dropped a tasty tidbit at the end of his speech, lauding the opening of the Bison's new $54 million indoor practice facility last week. After the usual thanking of the usual suspects and the usual back-patting, Larson made attentive ears perked up. With the ever-changing landscape of college athletics, this facility, along with other significant investments in infrastructure, staffing, and operations, has NDSU athletics well positioned for the future, unquote, Larson said. To those who want the Bison to move up a level of competition from the Football Championship Subdivision, which is FCS, to the Football Bowl Subdivision, which is FBS, it sounded like Larson was beaming the Batman signal directly into our brains. Was he hinting that a move to FBS was imminent? Alas, no. Asked about his comment afterward, Larson said he was simply acknowledging the groundwork was now laid should an invitation from an FBS conference come. When Larson arrived 8 years ago, he said the athletic department wasn't ready for an FBS move. Now he believes it is, should the opportunity present itself. So the athletic director is basically saying, yeah, well, if an invitation comes from an FBS conference, we'll be interested. Should the opportunity present itself, we'll be interested, and we would be ready to make the move if we wanted to make the move, unlike 8 years ago. And man, is there a driving incentive for North Dakota State Bison, South Dakota State Jackrabbits to finally make that move into FBS. Because of that new money coming into just the playoffs alone would pay for the move, would help pay for their scholarship players, would be bigger money revenue than the new broadcast revenue they would get joining an FBS league. Will they join that new 11th FBS conference that's just forming? Or would this jack up a bidding war with the other conferences trying to get North Dakota State, South Dakota State? I think so, yes. I definitely think so, yes. What has North Dakota State done in the last 20 years? Let's take a look at the FCS level. In 2000, North Dakota State Bison were 12-2. 2001, 7-3. 2002, 2-8. 2003, 8-3. 2004, 8-3, 7-4, 10-1, 10-1, and then 2008, 6-5, 2009, 9-3, 2010, 9-5. They reached the quarterfinals of FCS. In 2011, they went 14-1. They won the FCS championship. In 2012, North Dakota State Bison, 14-1, won the FCS championship. In 2013, North Dakota State went 15-0. They won the FCS championship. In 2014, 15-1, they won the FCS championship. In 2015, they went 13-2. They won the FCS championship. In 2016, they went 12-2. They lost in the semifinal. In 2017, in 2018, in 2019, they won the FCS championship, going 14-1, 15-0, 16-0. In 2020 pandemic season, 7-3. Oh, what did they do last year? They won 14-1, and they won the FCS championship. There is no more high-profile FCS program than the North Dakota State Bison. In October, just a couple months ago, the athletic director basically said if we get an invitation, we'll look at it, we'd be interested, we're ready. With an 11th FBS conference forming, and because of all the incentive that we just laid out here in episode 113, is there any doubt that North Dakota State is finally knocking on the door of going to becoming an FBS football program? And the South Dakota State Jackrabbits as well? I don't think so. I think the time is now. We're going to be following the story. The creation of the 11th FBS conference is big news in college football. North Dakota State, South Dakota State Jackrabbits, a few others joining FBS finally. That will be huge news. Huge news. So follow us, stick with us here at Peek Around the Corner as we follow this story. Until next time, from all of us at Peek Around the Corner to you, please, you all take care of each other. Thank you so very much.